E ora olaien loite fativi. Novo. E ora vena ilo. Divina itemana. Ona solema. Matami. Meno. Ona lantro. Mui. Ite nalaeo. Te isaga ati mafalonaga.
So here we go, this is my review for Planet of Lana 2. I recently reviewed the first game just because I wanted to get that in place, ready for this sequel, and just about managed to get it done. They're not huge games, and they never overstay their welcome, which I kind of like, so that wasn't a huge problem. We got that in place, and I even got a chance to try the Planet of Lana 2 demo in the recent Steam Next Fest. So in this sequel, we now see Lana moved on a few years, and that means that she's a bit older, a bit wiser, hopefully, and she's also got more agility and more strength. Now, that means they've added new movesets to her abilities. So in the past game, you would run at 1 speed, whereas now you actually have the option to sprint, which means you can jump over gaps, wider gaps, and also leap up to rock surfaces, and then do like a directional leap across to the other side. And this comes into play in a few different ways in the puzzles. So Lana's not the only one who's gained some new abilities. Moina can now interact with the environment in a whole new way. So in the past game she could actually hypnotise certain creatures and get them to do certain things, whereas now she can actually gain control of them and make them move around. The best example I've got of this is very early on. You come to a part in an underwater area where these like huge massive like killer whale type creatures are just hanging around, and if they see you, that's it, game over. So what you can do is you can take control of these small black fish, swim around and leave like pools of ink which block their view, or maybe distract one of these killer whale things with the small fish. I think overall, while the game does feel very similar in the way it moves around, they have very subtly expanded the scope of the game. So obviously I've mentioned these new abilities, but also the puzzles themselves, they do seem to be more intense. There's a lot more components to them, and they also move over a wider space. In the first game, you tended to find that puzzles would be on 1 screen, maybe 2, whereas now they're actually over multiple screens, and this adds a level of difficulty which we didn't have in the first game. But they're still satisfying and well made, and I really enjoyed the puzzles in this game.
Rakuen!
Meladi. Hollanda?
Ipalanda.
Oh. Doma dieloima.
Tata ne Rakuen.
Menokora.
Mui, olai.
I don't want to go into great detail for the story just for obvious reasons. I don't want to spoil it for you, and I think the more you know, the less surprised you'll be. But the basic backdrop for the story is you now have a new sister called Anua. She's very small, very kind of like inquisitive, and she's following you around for the first couple of minutes of the game. And unfortunately she comes across this substance and gets injured and becomes very ill. So the elder who you found at the end of the first game, Rakuen, he actually prompts you to go on a quest to find these multiple objects, which hopefully are going to save your sister. So Lana embarks on this quest, and that is the basic structure and the backdrop for the game. So in the process of reviewing the first game, I actually learned a new word, which is paralanguage. And I kind of knew what this meant, but I'd never heard it defined as that before. And it's basically the way that people talk without actually using words, or the way that words are conveying more than just the actual meaning of the word. For example, pitch, tone, and also hand movements. And this is really important to this Lana universe because they don't actually speak English, so I can't understand what they're saying. But you can kind of pick up the meaning and the context of what they're talking about. And I think that's a really interesting and nice part about the game.
Anua.
Lana Anua Atiro Talavi. Numate. Ona fatum dia Lana. Semantio.
Tata Nerakwen. Meno mui. Olai.
So what more can I tell you about the Planet of Lana 2? Well, one thing I did want to mention was the price point. I think the developers here have been really fair about the price. I paid just over £15 and that's with 10% off for the launch. So you're looking at probably £17 full price. And I guarantee in a year's time you'll see this in Steam sales for like 10, maybe like 11, £12. But considering the quality of game you're getting, the music, the graphics, and the sheer love these developers have put into this product, I really would happily pay £30 for this easily. So yeah, £15 is not a big ask. So that's a huge win for the game. It's also, like I've said, it's a game that shows the developers they're making games because they love them. They're making games because they love the craft. They love this platform. They love this hobby, whatever you want to call this art form. And for that alone, I would say support these developers, buy their game, and show them that we appreciate what they're doing. And I, for one, do. I really do appreciate all the amazing content they're bringing us. Not just these developers, but all the developers that make really amazing games, and they're usually indie developers who need our support the most. So there we go, that's my review for Planet of Lana 2. If you hadn't guessed already, it's a high recommendation, and yeah, just pick it up and get it. It's amazing. And my next review will probably be either the Heart of Thrones review for the expansion for Guild Wars 2, and I'm also planning a cheeky little video on Sony apparently turning their back on PC gaming now, but yeah, we'll cover that more in the video. I hope you're all well, and I will speak to you all soon. Oh, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're planning to pick up Planet of Lana 2, or if you've played any other games like this recently. Let me know, and I'll have a look at them. Alright guys, take care. Hope you're all well. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.